The government went into high gear to race the amendments through the National Assembly in order to meet a May 27 deadline set by the international community or face tough sanctions.
Some of the ramifications and consequences which can flow and sanctions which may be imposed as a result of our non-compliance can be, sir, putting us on what is referred to as an international blacklist, and when countries are placed on that list, a whole new set of international treatment is meted out to countries, and international transactions entered into by nations that are put on that list are subject to stringent scrutiny and examinations.
The opposition wondered why the government waited on the 11th hour to take the bills to the National Assembly. In a desperate plea to the opposition, the Attorney General did not proclaim his innocence, almost agreeing that the amendments were tabled rather late. Nandlal said he was craving the indulgence of the opposition on the basis of nationalism and patriotism. But the opposition did not digest Nandlal's arguments nor his plea.
It is not only when we are faced with international sanction that we come conveniently to invoke patriotism and national interest in this assembly.
Moses Nagamutu of the Alliance for Change argued that the reforms to the laws must be examined carefully and could not be rushed through in a day. Besides, he said the reforms to the Money Laundering and Countering Financing Terrorism Acts requires amending a range of other laws. And so he said that it would not serve the national interest to treat with the matter in haste. The government is running scared that any delays would cause Guyana to miss the deadline. Parliamentary select committees are notorious for being painfully slow and for missing deadlines, and hence the government's apprehension with sending the reforms to be finalised in such a committee. Government's Chief Whip, Gail Teixeira, was so vexed in spirit that she rubbed the opposition the wrong way as she tried to get them to see the urgency to deal with the reforms. The opposition ended up drowning out her speech, and the Speaker did not come to her defence.
I am warning this House that is not a threat. If you think a warning is a threat, something wrong with you, comrade. All the Caribbean countries have been through this. We are not alone in this. It is all the Caribbean countries and in many countries throughout the world. So, Mr. Speaker, am I not getting any protection at all in this House? Seriously.
I am hearing you.
I heckled all the time.
I am hearing you. I think if I could, with the greatest of respect, the tone that was introduced has led to some of the responses that have come.
In the end, the opposition agreed to speed up consideration of the reforms. The committee that has to consider the amendments has to present their report on May 22nd, 2 days before the deadline set by the international body looking into financial crimes.